Hello everyone. Hope you all are good and I hope that you have been watching all the previous lectures regularly and thoroughly. We are going to continue with the same chapter, chapter 1 from part 2, accounting for share capital. Let us see what is the topic for today. This is the 15th lecture and our topic for today is, not the topic, but sum that we have considered for today is illustration 11, which is given on page number 34 in your textbook part 2. Alright, hope you all are having your textbook with you. Yes, so you should be ready with the necessary essentials, just like having a textbook, Kelsey, pen, pencil, etc. etc. Alright, I repeat, we are going to solve illustration 11 in today's lecture, which is given on page number 34 in your textbook, part 2. And in the previous lecture, we have been, in the previous lecture, we have done illustration 10, which consists of approx 5 sums, 5 short sums, and I have taught you up till 4. The last sum is left that we are going to understand maybe in the next lecture, but today we are going to do illustration 11, which is a long sum. Yes, as I said earlier, that a long sum which is going to be a part of your exam in the question paper is going to be the combination of long sums that we have done previously and thereafter illustration 9 and 10 that we have understood on the basis of the topic of, forfeiture of shares. Yes, so combination of a long sum and a short sum is going to be a sum that will appear in the question paper of your exam, which is of 8 marks. Yes, so let us start with illustration 11. So here is the question on your screen. Firstly, we are going to read the question carefully. We are going to understand the question and only then we are going to solve it. You should pay 100% attention for its complete understanding. Yes? Okay. So illustration 11. Before this, let me just clarify one thing. You should please ignore the sound appearing in background in case if any during the lecture. Yes, you know very well what is the situation right now. So people are working from home and obviously the recording is taking place with extreme care, but still it might happen that suddenly some of the noises appear in the background. So you are not supposed to pay attention to those things. You are just supposed to focus on the purpose of this video. Yes, to what I'm speaking. Yes, so please I request you to do that. So finally, starting with illustration 11, the question is presented on your screen and let me read this. Nazneen Textiles Limited issued 12 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. The company has issued 12 lakh equity shares. One share is of rupees 10. Yes? On which amount was payable as under. On application rupees 4, on allotment rupees 4, on final call rupees 2. 4 plus 4, 8 plus 2, 10. Now they say, company received application for 15,50,000 equity shares from public. The company has issued 12 lakh equity shares but has received applications of 15,50,000 shares. This is a case of oversubscription of shares. Yes, we have understood this. Oversubscription, undersubscription, and full subscription. Here is the case of oversubscription. So excess, how many applications are in excess? 15,50,000 minus 12 lakh. 3,50,000 shares are in excess. I mean applications are in excess. So excess applications were rejected and amount paid on application thereon was refunded. Yes? So these applications are rejected and the amount is refunded. Yes? Further, Harun, who was allotted 8,000 shares, had not paid allotment and final call amount. So this is a shareholder who fails to pay allotment and final call amount. That means 4 rupees of allotment, 2 rupees for final call. He is having 8,000 shares and he did not pay this amount. Yes, this is a topic of call in arrears. Further, Salim, who was allotted 2,000 shares, had not paid amount on final call. Now Salim is another shareholder having 2,000 shares and has not paid amount on final call. 2 rupees. So company forfeited shares of Harun and Salim and all the forfeited shares were reissued at rupees 7.5 per share as fully paid up. So concept of forfeiture, concept of reissue. These shares were purchased by Shahrukh. Now what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to write down journal entries in the books of company to record about transactions and also to prepare share forfeiture account. Alright, let me repeat the question. Company has issued 12 lakh equity shares. One share is of rupees 10, which is called up as under 4 plus 4 plus 2. Company has received applications for 15,50,000 equity shares. Excess 3,50,000. They are rejected and amount is refunded. Refunded in the sense returned. These two shareholders having 8,000 and 2,000 shares respectively failed to pay the amount on allotment and final call. So company will forfeit their shares and will reissue it at rupees 7.5. You are supposed to write down journal entries for this and you are supposed to prepare a ledger account for share forfeiture. Alright? So I hope the question is clear by now. So the very first thing that you are supposed to do is to prepare the format of journal and give a proper heading. Journal entries in the books of Nazneen Textiles Limited. Yes, this is the format: date, particulars, LF, debit, credit. Yes. Alright, let us start then. The first journal entry obviously is always for receipt of application money. So the very first journal entry that we have written is bank account debit to equity share application account. When application money is received. How many applications are received? Of course 15,50,000 is clearly written here. And 4 rupees with application. So 15,50,000 into 4. 62 lakh. Alright. But the question is that we have issued only 12 lakh equity shares. Applications are received for 15,50,000 equity shares. So 3,50,000 equity shares in excess. What we are going to do with that? We are going to reject those shares and we are going to refund that amount. So second journal entry, equity share application account debit 62 lakh, which appears here, is here, to equity share capital account. How much amount you are supposed to transfer to equity share capital account? Only 12 lakh into 4. Why? Because the company has issued 12 lakh equity shares. Rest of the applications are to be rejected. So 3,50,000 is here, 12 lakh is here. If you remember, while understanding the journal entries for the first time, there was journal entry number 2 and journal entry number 3. So this journal entry, second journal entry in this question is combination of those two journal entries. They are given on page number 9 and 10 in your textbook, that I have explained in the very beginning of this chapter. Yes, so this is the combination of those two journal entries. If you want a better understanding, I can split them. Second journal entry is equity share application account debit to bank account. Which amount you are going to write in that? 3,50,000 into 4, because you have rejected 3,50,000 shares. Third journal entry, remaining 12 lakh applications. The application money received on remaining 12 lakh equity shares, that amount is to be transferred to equity share capital account. And the journal entry for which is equity share application account debit to equity share capital account. So if you will combine these two journal entries, this is the single journal entry. Yes? Hope I'm clear? So moving ahead, obviously allotment money becomes due on 12 lakh equity shares at rupees 4 per share. So what is the journal entry when allotment money becomes due? Obviously, equity share allotment account debit or share allotment account debit to equity share capital account. On 12 lakh shares, 4 rupees becomes due. So 12 into 4, 48. 48 lakh. Yes? Now there is a shareholder, Harun, having 8,000 equity shares and fails to pay allotment money and final call. Yes? So obviously this is a concept of call in arrears. So the next journal entry is for receipt of allotment money, in which we are also going to highlight call in arrears. That means the amount which is not received from a shareholder named Harun having 8,000 shares. Harun did not pay 4 rupees for 8,000 shares held by him. I was supposed to receive 48 lakh, but I did not receive 32,000 from a 48 lakh. So the amount received is only 47 lakh 68,000. How did you obtain this amount? Call in arrears is a loss and hence it is to be debited. So on 8,000 shares I have not received 4 rupees from Harun. So 8,000 into 4, 8 4s are 32. So 32,000 is not received and hence it has been debited here. So bank account, amount received 48 lakh minus 32,000 gives you 47 lakh 68,000. So the journal entry for this is bank account debit 47 lakh 68,000, calls in arrears account debit 32,000, to share allotment account 48 lakh. 48 lakh here becomes due, of which 32,000 is not received, and hence 32,000 is deducted from 48 lakh. Yes? So the net amount received by bank is 47 lakh 68,000. Obviously this is not new. We have solved a sum for call in arrears and you already know how to obtain this amount. And if in case if you don't remember, you should watch that particular lecture. Let me find out the illustration for that. I think it was fourth illustration, if I'm not mistaken. Just give me a minute. Yes, it is illustration 4 about call in arrears. Yes. So you should watch that lecture again if you have if you don't remember how to obtain this amount. I have explained it very well. I have presented 2 logics for obtaining this amount. Yes. So moving ahead, now is the step when final call money becomes due, which is of rupees 2. Yes? Okay. So when share final call becomes due, what is the journal entry? You just have to replace allotment with final call. If it was first call, you were supposed to write down first call. If it was second call, you will write down second call. It depends how it is presented in the question. In question, it is given final call. So let us see, let us revise the question. On final call, rupees 2 becomes due on 12 lakh equity shares. Obviously, 3,50,000 excess is rejected in the second journal entry itself. So from there onwards, we have considered 12 lakh equity shares in each and every journal entry that we are writing. Alright? Okay. So again, this shareholder having 8,000 shares, he has not paid allotment money and also final call amount. So we are done with allotment and now we are at the step of final call. So he is having 8,000 shares. Mr. Harun did not pay 2 rupees and also Mr. Salim did not pay final call on 2,000 shares held by him. So all what I can conclude is that final call money is not received on 10,000 shares. 8,000 of Harun and 2,000 of Salim. So on final call, 2 rupees are not received on 10,000 shares overall. So the journal entry, firstly, share final call becomes due. That journal entry is not at all new. So directly I'll be explaining journal entry number 6. Bank account debit, obviously call in arrears account debit. We are going to understand the amount, but let us understand the journal entry at first to shares final call account. What is the journal entry for receipt of final call? It is simply bank account debit to share final call. But here final call is not received on 10,000 shares and hence we are supposed to write call in arrears account here. Yeah? Let us understand the amount. How much amount becomes due on final call? 24 lakh. How much is not received? 2 rupees on 10,000 shares. 8,000 of Harun and 2,000 of Mr. Salim. So 10,000 into 2 gives you 20,000. So 20,000 is not received. It is called in arrears and hence it has been debited. So when you deduct 20,000 from 24 lakh, it gives you 23 lakh 80,000 rupees. So the net amount received is written in bank 23 lakh 80,000. Call in arrears account is to be debited 20,000 to shares final call account 24 lakh. This simply means that out of 24 lakh 20,000 is not received and 23 lakh 80,000 is only received. Alright, so 10 rupees is received except for call in arrears in at the time of allotment and call in arrears at the time of final call. So now these shares are forfeited by company. So obviously the next journal entry is going to be about forfeiture. Now we are dealing with illustration 9 and illustration 10 that we have learned. Yes, till now we were dealing with the previous illustrations done. See, I told you this is the combination. And it is. So moving ahead, we have a journal entry for forfeiture of shares. Now, simply speaking, always at the time of forfeiture of shares, the very first thing that you are going to do is to debit equity share capital account. That is what is done here, yeah? So here, 10,000 shares have been forfeited. One share is of rupees 10. Yes? So equity share capital account debit. Number of shares forfeited into amount called up. 10,000. How? 8,000 plus 2,000. 8,000 shares of Harun and 2,000 shares of Salim. So 10,000 into 10, 1 lakh. Further, to share forfeiture account, what do we write in that? The amount which is paid by the shareholder. Yes? So pay attention. Harun has paid only application money. See? Yes, please, I request you, please ignore the sound appearing in background. I really cannot do anything about it. Yes, I'm working from home, and that is the reason this disturbance is appearing. We are about to finish this sum, so please pay attention in the sum. Yes, so what we are writing in share forfeiture account? Obviously, the amount which is paid by the shareholder. So Harun here has paid only application money. So 8,000 into 4. He did not pay allotment money and even did not pay final call money. So allotment rupees 4, final call rupees 2. Making it 6. Out of 10 rupees, 6 rupees is not paid by him. And remaining 4, only application money is paid by him for 8,000 shares held by him. So 8,000 into 4, 32,000. Now the journal entry for forfeiture is for both Harun and Salim. It is combined. So how much is the amount paid by Salim? Salim has paid application money and also allotment money. If you remember, the question says Salim did not pay final call money. That simply means that Salim has paid application money and allotment money. Yes? So paid by Salim on 2,000 shares, 8 rupees he has paid out of 10 rupees. So 2,000 into 8, 16,000. Yes? 48,000 is here. Yes? Then it is written to calls in arrears account. This is the amount that is not received by the company, and you can directly obtain this amount from this journal entries. 32,000 plus 20,000. See, 32 plus 20, 52,000. Simply you can write to call in arrears account 52,000 outer column. I mean the net amount of call in arrears. Yes, just that simple. You don't have to write it separately. Even if you are writing it separately, it's well and good. But instead of writing it separately, you can write just call in arrears account, and even the amount is readily available. In this journal entries already we have calculated. 32,000 is not received for allotment, 20,000 for final call, and that is obviously a reason why the shares are being forfeited. So this is the amount received, this is the amount not received, and this is the total amount. Just that simple. So shares of Harun and Salim are forfeited after final call. Yes? Alright. Okay then. Now these shares are reissued at 7.5 rupees. The share is of rupees 10 and is reissued. Let us jump to the question. Here it is. Yes. Please ignore the sound in background. I mean the noise in background. Yes. So these shares are reissued at 7.5 per share as fully paid up. Okay, share is of rupees 10, reissued at 7.5. Fully paid up is that you are supposed to compare it with rupees 10. So 7.5 instead of 10. So how much is discount? Obviously this is the issue at, this is the issue of shares at discount because the price is lesser than 10. So the amount of discount is of course 2.5. So let us check the journal entry so that we can finish this sum quickly. Yes, the journal entry for reissue, journal entry number 8. Bank account debit, 10,000 shares have been reissued at 7.5 rupees. So it is 75,000. What is the amount of discount offered? Share forfeiture account debit, 10,000 into 2.5. So this is 10 rupees now. Yes, this is the journal entry for reissue. The concept that we have learned in illustration 10. Yes, when shares are reissued at discount, share forfeiture account is to be debited. Yes, 2.5 rupees is the amount of discount here. 7.5 is the reissue price. 2 equity share capital account 10,000 into 10. The share is obviously of rupees 10. 7.5 is the issue price. 2.5 is the amount of discount. So lastly, the last journal entry for transfer of amount of share forfeiture account to capital reserve account. 10,000 shares have been forfeited. 10,000 shares have been reissued. This is the amount received on those 10,000 shares, out of this 25,000 is offered as discount at the time of reissue. So the remaining amount is simply to be transferred to capital reserve account, which is 23,000 rupees. Yes, and that's all. This is the total. Total of both the sides of debit and credit should always be equal. We know this very well. And here is an important note. This note I have highlighted, I have explained this point during the concept of call in arrears account. So you will please carefully read this once in your textbook and you will understand on your own. So lastly, talking about the preparation of share forfeiture account. This is the format of ledger, debit, credit, share forfeiture account. You are supposed to post the journal entries which consist of this word in it. So there are 3 journal entries, 7, 8 and 9. 7th journal entry, equity share capital account debit to share forfeiture account. So obviously you are writing by equity share capital account 48,000. Share forfeiture account it is, so amount of share forfeiture always, not the amount of equity share capital account. You should be aware of this. You are in standard 12th. I'm not supposed to explain this, how to prepare a ledger. We have understood this while understanding the chapter of ledger in standard 11th. Yes? So this way you will prepare this ledger. You will post journal entry number 8 and also 9th. And we complete this illustration here. Please study this well. This is given in your textbook. You will write down this in your fair book after watching this lecture properly. Let us check what is your homework for today. It is obviously the illustration that we have solved in current lecture. Illustration 11. Once you are done with illustration 11, only then you are going to do sum number 14 given in exercise, which is given on page number 60. You are going to do this in your fair book after solving illustration 11. Yes? So that's all for today. We'll see you all soon in the next lecture. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and of course, study well.